library friends, this is Miss Cindy from the Crown Point Community Library, and today I'm bringing you another exciting episode of Merlin's Missions. So we are in week 4 of our summer reading. Our summer reading theme is Tales and Tales. Hopefully you know that. Hopefully you've been by the library, you've signed up for summer reading, you've been reading lots of books, getting some prizes, and just having fun. So if you have not joined our Merlin's Missions before, Merlin's Missions are when we read some information from the Magic Treehouse books with Jack and Annie, and then we put that together with some type of animal or animal adaptation or something about an animal and put it all together for a STEM bag. So I am going to begin by reading a little bit from book number 11. It's Lions at Lunchtime. And then we are going to be talking about birds and bird beaks and how birds' beaks are adapted to the food that they eat. So let's get started. So Lions at Lunchtime. So where I'm going to pick up in this story, remember I don't read the whole thing, I just read a section. Jack and Annie are in the African plains and they are on a mission, and they see some birds. They're small birds. A small bird flitted near his head. "Hi," Annie said to the bird. Jack turned back to her. "According to the riddle, we're looking for something gold and sweet." "What do you want?" Annie asked the bird. The bird twittered and flew around Jack and Annie. Its feathers were dull and gray, but it had a bright, happy manner. "Annie, listen to me, not the bird," said Jack. The bird kept fluttering around them. "She's trying to tell us something," said Annie. Jack let out a long sigh. "You're driving me crazy today," he said. "But I feel like she needs our help," said Annie. "Maybe her babies fell out of the nest." "Annie, you can't save every animal in Africa." "But this bird is important," said Annie. "Trust me." The bird darted toward the trees. It landed on a branch and cocked its head at them. "She says, 'Follow me.'" The bird headed into the forest, and Annie started after. "Don't go in there," said Jack. "You might run into—" But there was no need to finish. The bird and Annie had disappeared into the trees. "A snake or a lion," Jack said to himself. "Come on," Annie called. Jack moaned. He pulled on his pack and he ran. The peanut butter jar thumped against his back. The forest was cooler than the sunny plains. It was filled with shadows and bird calls. "Where are you?" Jack shouted. "Here," said Annie, and he found her in a thick glade. Bright rays streamed in between the trees. Green leaves and vines swayed in the dapple light. The little gray bird sat in a tree, twittering at them. "Yuck, what's that?" said Annie, and she pointed at a round brown thing hanging from a low branch. Bees buzzed around it. "If that's her nest, it's a pretty weird nest," said Annie. "That's not a nest," said Jack. "It's a beehive. Don't you see the bees?" "Yikes," said Annie, and she stepped back from the tree. But the little bird darted at the beehive and pecked at it. "What is she doing?" said Annie. The bird kept pecking at the hive. "I don't know. Maybe she's as nuts as you," said Jack. "Look her up in your book," said Annie, "and see if it says she's nuts." "Are you kidding? That nutty bird isn't going to be in this book." "Just look." Jack turned the pages, and there it was, a little gray bird, a beehive, and a tall painted warrior with a spear. "I don't believe this," said Jack, and then he read out loud. "This bird is called a honey guide. It is both a friend and a helper to the Musai people, an African tribe known for their fierce fighting skills and bravery." "Hi, honey guide," Annie called to the bird. "I knew you were important." Jack kept reading. The honey guide leads a Maasai tribesperson to a beehive. The bird waits for him or her to scatter the bees to take the honey, and then the bird feasts on the honeycomb. "She wants us to be her helpers," he said. And there is the bird right there. So that is one type of bird. That's a honey guide. But you guys probably could name lots of other kinds of birds. Birds that you see in your yard, flying around, that you've noticed in your neighborhood, or if you've gone on hikes. So what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about birds, and we're going to talk about how their beaks are adapted so that they can eat certain types of food. Hopefully you stopped by the library and you picked up your bag. And if you did, when you got it home, you probably found that it had some weird stuff in it. So let's take a look and see what we got. All right, so in your bag, you found a clothespin, a fork, a set of chopsticks, odd, and those can just come out of their package. So a set of chopsticks, a toothpick, and a bag of stuff. So this bag is a bag that just represents all of our different things that a bird would eat. So you'll see marshmallows, beans, or some rice, some lentils, and some string. So the string obviously would represent worms. The seeds are different type of seeds. It could be a bug. So different things that birds will eat. So what you're going to do is you're going to take this bag. Now all this stuff is not, don't eat it. So I know there's marshmallows in here. They're probably stale because they've been in here for quite a while. And they've been touched by hand, so they're not really edible. But what you're going to do is you're going to take this bag and you're going to dump it out and put it onto a flat surface. So onto a plate or onto a table, onto a tray. You can even do this outside if you wanted to. So I put mine onto this plate. And then you're going to use your different utensils to see which utensils you can use to pick up certain things. So the clothespin, how is that going to work? Am I going to be able to pick up the tiny pieces of rice with this? What about the chopsticks? And then probably have to know how to use your chopsticks to be able to use them, but you can kind of play with them. Or the fork. So if you notice, also in your bag, you have a list of different birds and different beaks and what that means that they eat. So you're going to go through and kind of decide which of these utensils or beak adaptations are going to help the bird eat certain kinds of food. You'll notice that some birds, if they have a really pointy beak, like this toothpick, would be able to eat something like a marshmallow, but would not be able to eat a bean or a piece of rice because that beak wouldn't go into it. So different birds have different adaptations. We also have this really cool book at the library. It's called the Beak book. And I bet you can't guess what it's about. But it's all about beaks. This beak is for straining. You may even want to, if you put this in water, to use the fork would be like a strainer. And it would scoop stuff up and strain. This beak is for sniffing. This beak is for tossing. This beak is for crushing. This beak is for stitching. This beak is for prying. This beak is for ripping. This beak is for probing. So you could check this book out and find out about lots of different birds and what their beaks are used for, and then try out some different utensils and see what you can do. Maybe you can think of other things around your house that you could use to help you pick these things up. And if you do, stop by the library and let me know what you found out. So take care, have a great day, and join me next week for our next Merlin's Mission.